Okay, our weekly road and bridge meeting. Go ahead and commence. I'll go ahead and let you take it in the order you want to go in, Lance.
Okay, first is let's do the Idle Falls Power Industrial Park.
Okay.
Plat and the improvement drawings and
Development
agreement.
The development agreement. Is there any concerns you have on this development agreement?
We've gone through the development agreement with them a couple different times, went back and forth, had a legal look at it, so I think we're okay with that. They are not doing any public road improvements on it right now, just because that whole intersection may change dramatically with the ICD project.
Okay.
And so for right now, they're not doing any public road improvements on the arterial road.
But they will be done.
They will be done at some point in the future, and that's one of the special conditions in there.
Okay.
And it just depends on what it's gonna be, because that road may turn into a cul-de-sac and not connect to the highway there.
Okay.
And so
Are you okay with signing this, John?
Yes. Please.
the next will be the Simmons for Grand Peaks Medical. There's a little portion along 25th East that's in county jurisdiction. Most of the development itself is in the city of Ammon. The rest of the road improvements are in the city of Idle Falls. But because there's a little section that's ours, we had them do a development agreement with us.
Okay. And this does have the road improvements and everything that,
Yeah, and we have one sheet to be recorded with that.
okay, you good?
Yes, sir.
Sign this one, Lance?
Yeah.
How come this one's different? Is this the?
This is the improvement drawings, but it's only the portion of
Oh, I
25th
see.
East that
Okay.
deals with the county.
Okay. Is it on this one? Okay. Yes, about a sign that.
And the plat was the plat was just signed by David on that one.
Yeah.
Because the plat is actually in the city of Ammon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, last week you approved the right-of-way contract amount for Horrocks to do the right-of-way negotiations.
Yeah.
And this is the actual contract itself. I told you I'd bring you back for signature.
Okay.
Just a quick comment on that last item, just wanted to mention, thank you for that, thank you for work on that. Apparently that was the last item and it needed to get rid of.
Oh, was it? Okay. Okay, sounds good. This is right away that we approved last week.
Right.
Yeah, might as well put a scroll on there.
The next is change order number 4 for the 45th East Widening project. This change order came about because Iowa Bonneville Sewer District requested to install a manhole and sewer stubs for future use north of north of 49th North and east of 45th East. They have agreed to pay for this or reimburse the county.
Okay.
Because our contractor performed the work, we felt it best to do a change order for our contract and then they reimburse us. It is for $84,050 or $84,050.
Wow. For one manhole.
It was a deep manhole and they had to thread the needle through a couple 16-inch high pressure gas mains and yeah, it was quite the hole and spaghetti puddle out there.
Any questions or concerns?
Glad they're doing it now,
Yeah,
tearing up the road 3 months from now.
yeah,
You want this one too?
yeah. The next is change order number 5 on the 45th East project. This one came about because part of that 16-inch high pressure gas main was not buried deep enough. And so we had to go through a process of putting some protective concrete cover over the top of it. But it is going to be reimbursed by Intermountain Gas because it was their gas line that wasn't buried deep enough.
That's what I was wondering. When does that reimbursement come through usually?
So what will happen is we'll have this signed change order. I'll use that as a way to invoice Intermountain Gas and I on Bonneville Sewer District saying, we're gonna pay this amount, we need it back.
Okay, that sounds good.
Were the regulations changed after that one was
Oh, no.
buried, or did they just, the contractor not dig deep? enough?
Contractor didn't bury it deep enough, and that's one of the reasons why they are paying for it is their contractor investment and big news. So that's why they're paying to protect their line that wasn't done right the first time.
Just like we have sewer line 65th and 49th south, but it's the same problem. Contractor didn't do it right, and
Well, there's a couple out there and a couple of them on Ammon Road at least, were the city of Ammon's contractor that went through that. We're still dealing with some of the after effects of that, so. The next item on the agenda is an amendment number 2 for the Bear Creek Road project. It is for $24,800. This will be used to get the geotechnical engineers out to drill some more holes. And then we'll end up getting amendment number 3 after that, when they understand what the drilling shows as how to best improve Bear Creek Road and take the fix that we have designed now past where additional cracking is happening on the road.
what?
Oh, this road.
Yeah, kind of give it back.
And I mean, after the wide range of prices in the engineering and stuff that we saw on that other project, I hope we're being treated right.
This is different engineering.
Well, this is Keller Associates is doing this.
Yeah.
And so most of that 24,000 as shown on the back page is for the drill rigs to come out, drill the holes.
To get their pokey in the ground part that far down on an unstable slope to. I don't think they carried on a backpack.
No, it's, there's a drill rig there with tracks. And just so you're aware, the Forest Service needs to get a concrete bridge structure up onto Elk Jensen sometime this fall.
Yeah.
And they have met with me and have told me what they're going to do. And I said, well, I'm not going to give you permission to go over this slide area with 4 loaded semis.
Whoa, they
But
have
they're-
concrete down at the bottom for the
they're
retaining wall.
Going to do it probably after Labor Day sometime.
They, as opposed to taking it up the temp road,
Yeah,
cause the.
they're not gonna take it up the temp road because can't make the corners.
Yeah,
Cause this is a little bit semi with bridge
probably
section
can't.
and
if it's that long, they can't take it across the dam either.
I don't know about that.
Oh, there's that corner, there's a tight corner.
Yeah, there's that
Right
one
after the
back
dam.
there.
Yeah,
Can't they come around the other way?
they would have to go up Elton Jensen and that road is
That's
not,
another problem with the long heavy load.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you're gonna allow them to cross that slide area after?
well, they're
Labor Day?
just gonna do it.
They're just gonna do it. I said, I won't give you permission to do it,
Okay,
but we'll try as best we can to not ticket them or anything like that to get them across. I mean,
We
we're,
can't.
yeah, I mean, they're gonna go up there.
yeah, we don't want the liability.
Right, and I don't wanna have any of our people there just for that reason, but I might have somebody there to move the Jersey rails or blocks out of the way
And let them
to let them go through and then, yeah.
I think they get to do that.
And that's what I talked to him about, is like, I'm gonna give you permission,
Colby's
but
got.
I'm not
Colby can
necessarily
do
gonna
those.
do it for you, so.
Yeah, if they can move them, I would let them.
Yeah.
move them. There is. Okay, did you need anything?
But I just, Alan's coming down with Idle Falls Power. Bear wanted to be here. He got dropped with COVID. Still tested positive yesterday, but
Oh, lucky him.
he wanted me to just express our appreciation to the county. We've been working through this and your staff was awesome working with us. So
They are great to work with.
they are, and we greatly appreciate. So we can keep.
Okay.
going. So,
Sorry, I didn't recognize you.
no, I didn't want to interrupt, but we greatly appreciate it.
Are
I'll
you gonna,
bow out.
Okay,
It was, yeah, thank you.
you're gonna take those up and record them now?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kenny will probably do it. Kenny
Okay.
Robert will get, so over to Kenny Roberts. and get it.
Okay,
you're having the groundbreaking there, is it next week or
It's on the 12th of August,
12th of August?
Yeah.
Okay.
so please come.
I told Bear I would be there, yeah.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, it's a big project. It's
Been a while
glad
since
to be
they.
part of it with everybody on it, so
Okay, sounds great.
thank you. for
Thanks,
your time.
Alan.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you.
just to give you an update, chip seal is in progress. This is the first week of chip seal. We've got at least 3 weeks planned. So it's ongoing. If you get calls about rock chips and stuff like that, we're doing it. City of Idaho Falls is doing it. I'm not sure if the city of Hammond is doing any chip seals, but right now, chip sealing season. So
You got the weather that you like for it.
it's
Hot and dry.
just a little bit too
Too
warm. But, yeah, it gets that oil and the chips down in the oil real good.
What roads are they doing right now?
Right now, they're on 15th West, but they've got 26 West. They did Hayrand Industrial, 49 South, Burgraff Way. They've got some on 45th East to do outside of the road construction area.
Or south.
Yeah. There's close to 27,
30, almost
31 miles of roads that they're gonna chip seal.
Okay.
So,
So what we're talking, those kind of roads, did you ever get a grader up the? Wolf Flats?
they did get a grader up on High Sea River Road. They did go through. It didn't do a whole lot because they don't have a whole lot.
Rocks need some base.
Yeah,
Some gravel on it.
and they also got a grader up last Thursday on Henry Creek Road. Commissioner Christensen was talking about that one and it was, we did have a grader up there last Thursday. So it's just, there's minimal amounts of stuff you can do with just a road grader and no water truck and no precipitation, so.
Okay.
Update on 45th East. The HK is nearly done with what they have to do. They have a couple subcontractors who are still working mostly on sidewalk, but, the micro seal will happen on, starting on August 12th. We have talked to them several times about timing, and we want substantial completion before school starts. And that's the goal, and that's what they're working towards, and if there's any liquidated damages that we end up having to go after, it's gonna be passed right on to their micro shield subcontractor, who's the one that's holding them up. But right now, the schedule is such that if they start on the 12th, we'll be done, all the roads will be striped and everything by the time school starts.
Great project. Big improvement.
It's pretty much done.
Pretty close.
They're never even doing anything right now.
They're finishing up sidewalks and some
Yeah, that's true.
landscaping.
I've
and-
watched them do that.
Yeah, they're pouring. Right now, they're doing about at least 30 yards of concrete a day. But it's just, it would be nice if it was more than that.
Okay,
That's what I have on my agenda to talk about.
you got anything from Ammon?
Just a question for Lance, how many miles of chip seal you guys got?
31.
31,
Yeah,
and that's road or is that 80 miles?
that's road miles.
31, that's impressive. We are doing, the Hillview Hills this year. Needs a lot more chip seal, but that's what we're able to do this year.
Yeah.
Our John Adams Bridge project, is underway right now. And so we're trying to get that done before school starts. White Pine Charter School, is trying to open their new facility for the beginning of the school year, the end of August. They have a little bit of a water issue this winter. So we'll see if they can open up on time. But, we're planning on getting that bridge done before, the end of August. So that'll impact Kit Road. And other than that, that's about it. Our project's going on pretty smoothly now. Any questions for me? Anything we can help the county out with?
With First Street, I mean, we're still in the middle of those right-of-way negotiations. I'll try to communicate with Tracy where we're going, but we're having some challenges with our partial owners along that stretch. And so that was not going nearly as fast as what we wanted. I don't know that it's gonna impact what you're doing, but, we may end up in eminent domain for a couple of those parcels. So,
So we've got all the parcels wrapped up on our side except for one. And there's one property owner there that has a mortgage with the Idaho Housing and Finance Association. And all of their mortgages are done through the FHA through a complicated process. So, in order to acquire that strip, it's already approved, it's already good to go. But we have to get an appraisal, an FHA appraisal, had to go through the whole house, every room, assess it, and determine if the strip that was going to the city, would impact the value. So that's been our big holdup, but now that's done, and it's just a matter of process at this point. So, we've had our own challenges, but not like you guys. You guys have had quite a bit to do there.
and then your Sand Creek Bridge, it's already in process, probably after water goes out
That's right.
for over First Street.
Yeah.
And then also you're working on 17th Street.
Yeah.
And that one's gonna probably happen after water's out too, and so.
Yeah.
We're closing down all the roads in Hammond.
That's right.
They are, not us.
And what we did on First Street, so we got our John Adams Bridge, bid out, that's the one that's under construction now. And then through a change order, we did the First Street Bridge. And so the First Street Bridge is basically going to be the same bridge as the other ones. So that'll happen in the fall.
What's your final date on right away before you would want to start proceeding? Good.
So Michael Scott was gonna go back to one of the owners, but I think we're fast approaching it. It will probably wanna start proceedings if we don't have answers by the middle of August.
Okay.
Otherwise, we won't be done in time to.
How many parcels are you talking?
There's probably 4,
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
Some of these lot ownerships. I've been willing to work, so.
well, let's do everything we can to avoid that, get it done before.
And we've done a lot, but. Yeah.
Okay.
Any
One
other,
of them still the double access one, right?
yeah. Yeah,
They came in to see me, actually.
what's that,
That guy came in to see me.
Hassan?
Yeah, and I said, you gotta talk to Lance.
Yeah,
You got something?
I don't have anything else.
okay. Blair, did you have? Oh, okay. Think that's all I have then.
How's everything going up on the hill?
Good, hot and dry.
Yeah, it is. Is it busy further than normal or?
No, we're about average. Yeah, this cardboard thing, Western Recycling is changing buildings, so they stop baling cardboard.
Oh,
And then during that process, the city of Hammond pulled their bins because Western doesn't have anywhere to bale it, so that's caused an influx of extra cardboard, but other than that, we're about average.
Do you know what their timeline is, Western?
I was by there the other day and they've got all the concrete poured inside that arena, but they're pouring something out in front and I haven't been able to stop by there and see, so. Bobby from Pacific is bailing Western than ours. But,
So you're still taking it then?
yeah,
They're building a new building as part of their as part of that out there, and they have to do a plat before they do it because it was rezoned. So they turned in the plat 2 weeks ago, and it'll go next month. So that's been part of the process. We've been working with them on,
Where's that?
off of St. Leon.
so they're gonna build it in that where the arena is.
Yeah, that same lot.
Yeah.
Haven Industrial Park.
Yeah.
Is that, or is, no, it's St. Leon Industrial Park, I think. Can't keep those two straight ever.
Hopefully it's not, hey, Rick.
It's St. Leon Industrial Park right at the back of it, so right there off St. Leon before you get to the highway where Titan Tinks is and that stuff, so.
It wasn't such a bad thing when we had to stop that, honestly, because when I had a Paul stopped taking recycling, everybody brought their recycling to him. And we were just overwhelmed. I mean, that site, work yard was a disaster, everything. Like, everybody bring so many boxes, nobody brought them down. They fly all over the place, they drop off trash, dead animals. Yeah. Well, that is,
So what is the, city of Anvil, what is their plan? Are they going to put them back out once Western gets back up and rolling or?
we don't really know yet.
Yeah,
We would like to, because it helps us quite a bit to keep all that cardboard out of the trucks. Sure. It reduces our loads by a full 30%. Yeah, 80%
cardboard free.
Yeah, reduces the wear and tear on the trucks and everything else we take from the landfill. So if there's a cost benefit there, that's absolutely reasonable. But the public just abuse that site.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of manpower to monitor it. So.
Yeah, I wish there was a better way to collect it and deal with it, but yeah, because when you have sites and drop off sites, and that's what the city struggled with too, the contamination rate was terrible, and so then they were getting turned away all the time. Then we end up with it anyway, so.
I think the best solution is the curbside recycling. Western provides, I have that person at single stream, so you don't sort anything, you just throw it in the center cart. And I think if the city could incentivize the residents to do that, that would be ideal.
It's definitely a topic that the county and the two city organizations need to have,
Yeah.
because cardboard is huge. In our waste stream, that's a huge percentage of our
Yeah.
waste stream. When the city stopped, obviously you got a lot of it, but we also got some of that. And now that you're stopped, we're really getting. So it's kind of a conversation that we all need to maybe sit down sometime and have, because
Should bring Amazon to the table for that one.
yeah. And the city, you know, the city, see, they were doing, the reason they stopped is because the city told them that they were gonna start charging them $70 a ton. And so they just stopped.
Yeah,
Yeah, they weren't gonna pay that. So, yeah, it was, so it's been a struggle ever since then. Yeah.
Well, I know that in Rexburg, every resident has a recycling kit. And the Hale City Council considered that. It would have been a contract with Western Recycling. And they went away from that because of our community drop-off sites, but I do think that's a discussion we should have. It's a huge impact, and I have one of the cans personally at my house.
Yeah.
And I never fill up a hand garbage can. There's just so many recyclables that go into my recycling.
Yeah. When you talk about cardboard, with all of the online purchases
Oh,
people
yeah.
make these days,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just boxes, cardboard boxes, become huge.
And it's silly because they'll send a part like that size, a box this big and.
or
it's
3
crammed
boxes.
full of-
A little box and a bigger box and then a bigger box, because that one runs in their machine.
So, yeah, everything's cardboard and plat. And the cardboard market is, starting to come back a little bit, so we work with a company out of Salt Lake that keeps us up to speed on what the cardboard thing's doing. And, so, yeah, there's some opportunity there, it's not huge. But as long as Western can stay in business and stay, processing and moving it, we don't wanna try to compete against them at all, but if they quit, you know, and it's been a big struggle, and I'm glad to see that they're still going, because they tried to sell in Pocatello and they got halfway through that and then it went south. So now they're down there arguing over who owns what, whatever, this, that, and so now the city of Pocatello is having issues because they have Western was doing their curbside recycling, so they're having some struggles down there, but we definitely don't want to compete against them if they'll stay in business, but if they bail for some odd reason, if they're platting, they're not going to, obviously, so they're just gonna have to wait it out. Hopefully it'll turn out to be a good deal. But yes, we do need to, everybody needs to kind of sit down and talk about that cardboard thing, because I think if the city's not necessarily mandated it, but educated and pushed the issue a little bit, we might get a lot more people.
The yard works too.
Yeah.
The one that we talked about. Grass clipping was special.
Yeah, if we could get that kind of stuff out of the waste stream and process it into a different product, or, and run it through a different type process or something like that, it would help. And it would save the county a lot, a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
If we could divert 30% of our waste away from the transfer station, it would be,
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I was just looking at Western side and their service area must be kind of limited. Cause they don't even, I just put in my address and said, we don't offer services in your area. So it would be interesting to see what their service area was, to see if it even covers all of the cities, I don't know. And I guess
So-
that maybe that could happen under contract, but
not to ask personal questions, but where do you live? Do you live in Amherst?
I do, I live in Woodland Hills.
And you guys have a contract with them though, no? Oh,
No, so we did an RFI for a recycling franchise agreement about 3 years ago. And we got no responses, even though we contacted everybody in the state that does business. Western was, they were in the catbird seat with that. They would have been the right choice for the franchise agreement.
Sure.
And after it expired, I called them and said, why don't you guys go after this? And they said, it doesn't do us any good. We're the only game in town. We're gonna do it. Nobody's competing against us. Franchise agreement does not provide us anything. So it's just they're just allowed to operate right now.
Correct.
But I do think that's the way to go. We've got to have an agreement with them going forward, and they said they would be open to an agreement if the city had some kind of mandate, you know, council's not interested in that.
Right.
Or some kind of incentive program or something along those lines. But what the city council did after that is yeah, but you have as many cans as you want, set to pay for them. It's $11 for one can per month. And it used to be $11 for the second can, third can, fourth can, et cetera. And they increased it to $15 for the second can. And I think more of the third can, hoping that people would go to recycle, because it would be cheaper to recycle or get a second can. It didn't make a difference. People didn't even, I don't think we got a single complaint about the increase on the second and third cans.
So we were talking to the Bannock County folks the other day, and we were talking about the city of Pocatello and their recycling program down there. You know, they originally, when they started out, they did like a pilot project. They got 250 cans and it was first come, first served. And they moved those 250 cans in 3 days. But there was an incentive just like that, because if you know, it was only 5, you know, it was free at that time. So then after they figured out that people were interested, then they made it so that everyone had a can and it cost you $5 a month to have that can. Then that covered the haul fee and whatever. And so then people kind of balked a little bit, but after they figured it all out and they got the infrastructure put together and got the trucks and the cans and got everything going, then they backed the $5 back out. But so the city actually funds the recycling part. But just like you said, the amount of regular trash, so their recycling rate, and I haven't actually sat down and talked to the gal from Pocatello, but Bannock County claims their recycling rate is 70% on those cans.
Yeah.
So that's huge. If that is really a true number, and I'm not sure how they're coming up with that, but if that is true, that's huge. Because 50, 60 is average. I mean, if you get into 70s and 80s, you're doing it very well.
Little perspective there, at $15 a month for the second can, that's $180 a year. Yeah, that they're paying to have it picked up.
Yeah.
So there's some incentive there to do that. The one thing I think that we struggle with is our support. This area is so hard to move products out of. And so our shipping's further, because everywhere it goes, it's gotta go a lot further. And to ship to a MRF for commingled materials, you know, it's expensive and that. So, yeah, it's a challenge. It'll be a challenge. If we ever started that, it'd be a long time challenge. But boy, if there was some way we could all come together and do that, it would be huge.
Yeah, I think after they get settled into a new facility, it's probably time to go back and say, can you rethink this franchise agreement? Yeah, I can talk to the mayor and council about that. And it'd be good for them to know that the county's behind whatever policy changes they want to make for site.
Yeah, and that's why I say, I think we all ought to probably ought to get together and kind of see where this thing could go, because I know the city wanted to try at one time. The problem is it's expensive to compost, like get the green waste out of the waste stream. But it's expensive to do, and they kind of felt like that. Their thoughts on the deal was they put the cans out, that would be their expense, they would haul it, and then the county should have to process it and do the composting part, and that would be the, you know, and so, but the composting part of it is kind of where the expense is, so, I don't know, we're going to start looking into some of these composting, classes, you know, they have a lot of symposiums and stuff like that, so. I'm gonna start looking into that, because I, you know, if we move the green waste out, we could cut a fair amount of our waste stream.
So the new transfer station needs to be a separating house.
Well, and it needs to be, the place to separate it is at the curb. If you can separate it at the curb, because then it's not all commingled, you know, it's harder to separate it. Now, an organic separator, you know, we've got a company that's looking for grant opportunities and stuff like that, and they may get that pulled together, and if they do, they're going to probably end up here wanting to put in an organic separator. And if they could get the funding and get that process going, that could be a game changer in the waste industry as well. Because we have a college professor and a couple of young men that are trying to finish up some of their papers that are doing. They come to the transfer station, we pull out waste, they go through and characterize. And there's probably 35 to 40% organics.
Yeah, right.
If we could pull 35 to 40% of our waste stream out before it ever got to the transfer station, that could be big too. So there's some technologies out there that can make. But they're all expensive. Yeah.
Expensive, that's right. Austin, I got a email from staff, I think you were copied on it too, about the ag protection zone.
Too,
Yeah, was it tomorrow
yeah.
in their meeting? And then he talks about it again in September and then approving it at the conference since the end of September. I thought we were gonna get ours going quicker than that.
I have ours done and I've sent
That's
it
what I
to
told
Seth.
them, I told Seth at our meeting.
So I'm gonna talk to him when we go to this tomorrow because they had a preliminary meeting last week and I was out that day, but Michelle went to it and she said they're talking about, you know, basically all these things that we've already talked about. Well, how do you say if it's viable to be an ag protection area? Can you do it by soil type? Can you do it by all these different things? And we already decided, well, no, that doesn't work because you can change the composition of soil and so I don't even think we want to get into, well, is this viable farm ground? Is it not viable farm ground? So my take on that was, if it's been actively farmed for the last 5 years, then obviously they feel like it's viable.
Somebody's making a living on it.
Yeah, so we kind of stuck more with the water side of things, that you gotta be able to have the water to keep the farm operation going for the next 20 years, right? And proof of your water rights, but then Seth brought up in the meeting and like ranches and that type of stuff, and that maybe they don't have a need for water, which I still think is okay, because if somebody's coming to put a ranch in and they say, hey, our operation doesn't take water rights, right?
Right.
Then that's something that we're not gonna consider, but you still have to be able to have a way to give water to the animals and
Well, and you can't dry graze.
yeah, and have grazing, you know, so you've still gotta have some water component there, I think, but. So
Where's the meeting tomorrow?
just on Zoom.
Okay.
So my thought is I was just gonna go tomorrow and kind of get some of the input, but I looked at did you look at the sample ordinance that Seth sent out? It's like 10 pages and I'm like, we're not doing this. It's way overcomplicated to what it needs to be.
Good.
So mine's like too simplified and I just thought I'll go to the meeting, get input, and then I might just contact Seth separately and say, hey, we're ready to go.
This is ours.
If you guys wanna make some additional changes, I think that's great, but we've taken all the feedback and put it into what we feel like we need for Bonneville County.
Have they seen yours?
Yeah, Seth has.
Yeah, any comment?
I don't
yet, no.
see a link for that meeting.
Well, I'm
but
glad
I'll look
ours
for it.
is-
It should be, I'll find it.
I saw you were on the accepted invite, so I think it's probably just on your calendar
Okay.
that you'll click and then go.
Okay. Okay. All right, sounds
So
good.
yeah, I'm planning on going to
Glad
that,
ours
but
is succinct and
I don't wanna wait for them to.
no,
No,
I told them we were gonna do ours, so they could
Okay.
use it as their demo sheet to give everybody else.
And I think that's probably what they'll do is start from there. And everyone's gonna be a little different, but I think we can get it done sooner, so I'm gonna talk to P and Z about what I have tonight.
and Lisa Burtonshaw had a name or two that she,
For
for
ag.
yeah, I don't know if you have 5 already.
Mhm.
Francis's husband, Rock.
We should probably sit down and go over with all those names, cause Roger's given me a couple, I think you gave me a couple, you gave me a couple. So we should probably just sit down together and go over.
Are they commissioner appointed?
Mhm.
I assume.
Yeah. And then we can send out the letters once we have I can get interest, and then once the ordinance is passed, we can send out the letters, so.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, we should be ready to go with that. So,
Yeah,
wait,
okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and it's a max of 5, so
A max of 5 or a minimum of 5.
max. So a
Max.
minimum of 3, max of 5.
Oh, I misunderstood you. I thought it was the minimum of 5.
No, so minimum 3, or you can have 5.
Oh, okay.
that's a
Okay,
good way to do it.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Any more information
Check
from
it out.
area of impact? I don't know.
So I'm meeting with Wade tomorrow morning at 9. I think the agreement wording we had pretty much agreed upon, which they never gave me any agreement wording, so I put that together and sent it to them. Which is essentially a mirror of Ammon's ordinance with a few changes. And Wade and Chris both said they were okay with that, and I'm meeting with Wade tomorrow morning to go over some map areas. We had a P and Z meeting on it last month, and P and Z thought there was a few areas that needed pulled in, and Wade said, yeah, I kind of agree with that, so we were gonna meet tomorrow. And then I'm gonna pull the map back and schedule it with these guys for a hearing, so.
Yeah. Kevin Ward called me and said they really felt like some of those areas needed to be pulled in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, is there anything else?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll go ahead and close the